Well, so maybe let us start. Okay, so next talk by Samit Som from India. Yes, from School of Basic and Applied Science, Department of Mathematics. Yes, please. And the talk is some remarks on the materializability of F matrix spaces. Please.
Okay, so yeah, so my title is Some Remarks on the Metrizability of F Matrix Spaces. So the work is actually jointly by Ashish Bera and Lakshmikanto De, and the work has been published in the Journal of Fixed Point Theory and Applications in 2020. Uh, so I like to start. So in many situations in 1906, Fréchet first introduced the concept of metric spaces that we all know to generalize the distance function that we know from the real line. Uh, then after that, many mathematicians actually tried to weaken the metric structure and as a special case of metric space, and they want to extend the fixed point results that is already there for the metric space structure, like including the Banach fixed point theorem, and that is very well known. That is actually come in 1922, proved by Banach. So in many situations, they want to extend the fixed point theorem to this new structure. Like in 2007, Wang and Zhang introduced the notion of cone metric spaces on a positive cone on a Banach space. Then many work has been done with this space or structure. But in 2011, Khani and Parmodian explicitly construct a metric, and they showed that these cone metric spaces are indeed metrizable. And the work has been published, Topology and its Applications journal. So, in similar manner, in 2018, Jelly and Summit introduced a new kind of weaker structure than our usual metric space concept. So their paper also in 2018 accepted for publication in Journal of Fixed Point Theory and Applications. So before going to my main results, I like to mention a few notions, that the definitions of this kind of spaces. So they first of all consider a class of functions. So these have the two conditions. The first condition is that the function is non-decreasing function, and the second condition is that for a sequence in 0 infinity, if we take such that the sequence goes to 0 as n tending to infinite, the image of the function goes to minus infinity. And we know the examples of these functions like the logarithm functions, and suppose if we consider the functions as ft equal to minus 1 by t. So those kind of functions are example of this certain class. Then by using the class of functions, they actually give the definition of such a space. So let X be a non-empty set and D be a distance function defined. Now suppose there exists the ordered pair F alpha belongs to F cross 0 infinity, such that d of xy is 0 if and only if x equal to y, d of xy equal to d of yx, that is, it is called symmetric. And in the last condition, they have mentioned that for every xy belonging to x cross x, for every n belonging to the natural numbers with greater equals to 2, and for every finite sequence with the first term begin at x and the last term at y, if they are distinct, like x and y are distinct, then I have something like this relation, that is f of dxy must be less equals to f of I like to call this a summation of chain d of ui plus 1 plus alpha. Now you just can see that if alpha equal to 0 and if I take if ft equal to ln t, then this space actually become the metric space. So in that paper, they also produce an example that certain kind of metric spaces which are not certain kind of F metric spaces which are not metric spaces. Then by using the concept, they defined a topology on that space like we did for the usual metric space. So a set is said to be F open if we take any x belonging to C, there exists R greater than 0 such that the ball contained in C, where the ball is defined by the distance function capital D, that is the F metric. And similarly, C is subset said to be F closed if the complement is F open. So they have defined in their paper. Then similarly, they defined the notion of F convergence. So a sequence is said to be F convergent to an element X belonging to X if Xn converges to X with respect to the topology tau F. That is the set of all F open subsets of X. Then they have defined the F Cauchy sequence. So like we did for the Cauchy sequence of in metric spaces, like a sequence is said to be F Cauchy if D of xmxn goes to 0 as mn tends to infinite. And xt is said to be F complete if every F Cauchy sequence is F convergent to some element in X. Then they have defined that in one proposition that the two conditions are equivalent for an F metric space XD. Like if Xn is F convergent, then capital D Xnx goes to 0 as n tending to infinite. Now they give the next definition, like let X be a non-empty set and D be a mapping satisfying the first two conditions of the F metric, like D of xy is 0 if and only if x equal to y, and D of xy equal to D of yx. Then they have defined that the pair x comma capital D is said to be F metric bounded with respect to F alpha belongs to F cross 0 comma infinity if there exists a metric D on X such that for every xy belonging to X with xy are different, f of dxy less equals to f of capital dxy less equals to f of small dxy plus alpha. Then with respect to these definitions, they have given one theorem, like let X be a non-empty set and D be a mapping satisfying the first two conditions of the F metric. Suppose F alpha belongs to F cross 0 infinity and F is continuous from right. Then they produced the result that XDP an F metric space with respect to F alpha belongs to F comma 0 infinity if and only if XD is an F metric bounded with respect to F alpha belongs to F cross 0 infinity. Now in that proof, so F metric bounded, I give the definition that there exists a metric D on X such that this condition holds. So in that proof, they used the metric. So this metric small d, which is defined by the infimum of all the summation of capital D ui plus 1, where ui u1 u2 up to un is a finite sequence of element in the x whose first element is x and the last element is y. Okay. So now whenever I see this paper, that with respect to when I saw this the metric, so I have in mind that this result can be possible, that indeed the space can be metrizable. But it is clicked, so we proved that this space is actually metrizable with respect to that metric. So our paper actually published in 2020. So this is our first result, that if X be an F metric space with F alpha belongs to 0, F cross 0, infinity, then this space is indeed metrizable. So I like to state the proof technique that I have used in my paper. So in that proof, their paper, so they proved that thing, that with respect to the metric small d that I have just mentioned, that if for every epsilon greater than 0, xy belonging to x with x not equal to y, this relation holds. And this relation can be proved by the definition of F metric space. So we denote that tau denotes the topology generated by small d, and tau f generates the topology generated by capital D, that is the F metric. So we take a set U which is open with respect to the metric small d. So by definition of usual metric space, so there exists a small r, a ball I can find. So X belongs to ddxr, which is contained in E. So now I like to find one positive number such that the ball B capital DXR is contained in B small dxr. So I choose the same R that I choose for B small d. Because if the cardinality of the state is equal to 1, so it is proved that if y belongs to bdxr, then y belongs to b small dxr. But now what about if the cardinality is greater than 1? So if cardinality is greater than 1, so we can find y which is different from x. So that means capital dyx is greater than 0 and capital dyx is less than x. So in the inequality, f of dxy less equals to f of capital dxy, so I can prove, so we actually proved that the ball B capital dxr is contained in B small dxr. So by using the inequality, we proved that tau is a subset of tau f. So now in the reverse part, we want to show that tau f is a subset of tau. So for that, we have taken a set capital V which is F open, that is open with respect to the F metric, and we take X belongs to capital V. So now we using the F2 condition. So you can see the F2 condition, that is this condition, that for every sequence Tn is in 0 infinity, if Tn goes to 0, then f of Tn goes to minus infinity. So that property we have used in that proof. So for if I choose the fr minus alpha is a real number, so for the f2 condition, we can find a delta greater than 0. That is, if t less than delta, then f of t is less than f of r minus alpha. Then we have picked an epsilon between 0 and delta. And now delta minus epsilon is greater than 0. So we pick this radius delta minus epsilon. So now we have proved, we want to show that this dt b small d x delta minus epsilon it is a subset of b capital D x comma r. So similarly, if the cardinality is 1, then it is obvious that y belongs to b capital D x r. Now, what happens if the cardinality is greater than 1? So then we can find one element which is not equal to x. So that means what? That is small dxy is less than delta minus epsilon. So that is dxy plus epsilon is less than delta. So basically now I use the f2 condition. So since this is less than delta, so f of dxy plus epsilon is less than fr plus alpha. So this implies that f of dxy plus epsilon plus alpha, so which is less than fr, and we know that from this equation that f of capital dxy is less equals to this quantity, and the right hand side quantity is less than fr. So we can show, so we have proved that f of d comma xy is actually f of r. So now since f is monotonically increasing function, so we can say that dxy is less than r. So the ball b small d x delta minus epsilon, it is indeed a subset of b capital D x r. So basically the two topology is indeed same. So that is why the space is actually Metric. Next we have proved this thing that if X is an F metric space with F alpha belongs to F cross 0 infinity, and if Xn is F Cauchy, if and only if Xn is a Cauchy sequence with respect to the metric T. Then if Xn is F convergent to X, then Xn is actually convergent to X with respect to the metric cap small d. And if X is F complete, then it is equivalent that X is complete with respect to the metric T. So after proving this theorem, so basically the notions they are using in this paper actually coincides with the original notions of metric spaces. Then they have give a certain sufficient condition under which the closed ball at center at A and radius R is actually F closed. So they give the condition that for every sequence Xn, if the condition holds, that is limit n tending to infinity d xnx equal to 0 for some x belonging to capital X, then capital Dxy is less equals to limit suprema capital D x and y with y belongs to x, then the closed ball is actually F closed. So they give the sufficient condition. And in that paper, they have asked that it is possible or not to give a necessary and sufficient condition that if BAR, the closed ball, is actually F closed. So we have answered this question with the help of our metrizability result, that the closed ball actually F closed if and only if this is closed with respect to the metric T. Next, they have extended the Banach fixed point theorem for metric spaces to the F metric space concept via this result. So where they take XD be an F metric space and G be a mapping such that X is F complete and there exists K belongs to 0, 1 such that capital D Gx Gy is less equals to capital D Xy. So that means they have used the same type of conditions like we used for the Banach fixed point theorem for usual metric spaces. So then the function g has an unique fixed point, and for each x0 belonging to x, the sequence xn defined by xn plus 1 equal to gxn is f convergent to x star. But in our next result, we have proved that the Banach contraction principle in the context of F metric spaces actually follows from the Banach contraction principle for standard metric spaces. So in our next result, we have proved that if a mapping G is a contraction with respect to the F metric space, then G is a contraction with respect to some suitable metric D on X. So here we use the same metric with respect to which the space is actually metrizable. Okay. So in that proof, I like to discuss here that since G is a contraction mapping.
Excuse me. Your time is no, actually it is finished because we have 8 minutes till next talk.
Okay, so just 1 minute for my
Sure.
just 1 minute. So if capital D is a contraction mapping, so we have taken a path where T1 equal to X and TP equal to Y. So that means if I take GTN, so this will be a sequence in X with the first point in is GX, second point is GY. So that is by the definition of F, the metric, that the D of Gx, Gy is less equals to the sum. Now we use the definition of contraction with respect to the F metric, and we have proved that this is indeed a contraction with respect to the small d. So that means the Banach contraction principle in the context of F metric space follows from the Banach contraction principle in standard metric space. So in that paper, they also asked that Cantor intersection theorem can be extended to F metric spaces or not. And we have answered the question in a positive way, which is accepted for publication in the journal Fixed Point Theory in the current year. Okay, so thank you for my talk. So,
thank you very much. This is very interesting and new direction of maybe functional analysis, this kind of extensions of fixed point theorem. So let us thank the speakers. Thank you very much. Well, please, your questions, comments.
Sorry, a little remark.
Please.
Last string at slide number 6.
Slide number 6. Okay.
Yeah, last string.
So slide. Yes.
Here instead of inequality present absolutely identity. See, please, left side of this inequality and right side. Sorry, plus alpha. Sorry.
Yeah, so plus alpha is there.
Sorry. Thank you. Sorry.
Well, any other questions? No? Okay, let us thank the speaker again. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.